Welcome to Tiger Wolf. I'm Josh, and this is David.
Please be aware, this podcast contains strong language and spoilers.
I mean, that should be plenty of time.
We're in the Endgame now.
I mean, the game has ended now.
So we saw
For us.
one of 14 billion 500 and
You
7?
what?
We saw the end of the one time the Avengers got it right.
Well, you know this was going to be the story of the one time they got it
Yeah.
right. Otherwise, there would be no point in them making the story.
Yeah, it just
It actually would have been kind of cool if it was one of the times they were almost
they
almost got it
right.
and then they just reboot the whole thing, but like not with the same characters, not with Captain and
Iron Man.
yeah, like it's just a different iteration.
Yeah. There were a lot of callbacks to the previous
That's
movies
really-
in this.
Well, yeah, I mean that's kind of the whole plot point of getting those was this wasn't just a movie about winning. This was a movie that was like a recap of everything that has come up until this point.
Yeah.
But
I mean, not just visually, like the lines that were said were very familiar because they were literally taken straight from a previous movie. Like when Bucky looks at Cap and says, "Don't do anything stupid," or Cap says, "Don't do anything stupid," and Bucky's like, "Can't, you're taking all the stupid with you." They had the exact same conversation reversed in the first Captain America movie when Buck left for the war. The cheeseburger thing, that was the first thing Tony wanted when he got back stateside after being held captive, was a cheeseburger. It was the little things like that I liked. I mean, yeah. The
little things I won't remember.
Iron Man.
Did he say Iron Man?
Yeah.
Okay. It sounded like to me he said I am man or something like that. That's because I didn't have the closed caption thing. So I missed a lot of the like I wasn't exactly sure what Thor's mom said to him in some of the conversation.
He was a failure.
Well, yeah,
But
no, I got
was
that.
okay.
He was like, "That's a bit harsh." I got what she said mainly because of what his line after it was.
But it's okay. He needed to be who
he was being a failure
to be,
he was being a failure at being what people expected him to be,
and not who he was.
Right. But at the same time, like, it was very much what he wanted to be, too.
Yeah. That was a very good, I know they were filmed back to back, so it made sense for it, but I did like the fact that they remembered to change the eye color of his right eye.
I don't really remember that. I just remember being upset that they actually replaced his eye and didn't leave him with the patch.
Yeah. But it was good. So,
episode done. 4 minutes. We're out.
Bye.
Later.
So,
we already have like all the spoilers in there.
There are others.
Oh yeah, I mean, like the Hulk's not angry anymore.
I kind of figured that's what was going to happen.
Well, yeah, we didn't really see him be the Hulk again either, though.
No, he was Professor Green, or
the Gray Hulk.
Yeah, basically the intelligent Gray Hulk. Only he was actually still green.
Yeah,
I'm perfectly fine with that version of the Hulk.
No, I mean I didn't mind him. It was interesting, especially when he's poking the thing with the stylus because he had to.
Yeah.
But like, it's supposed to be the best of both worlds, and we didn't really see Hulk's world.
Not really. He was a little underwhelming with the hit the cab, pick up by throw.
Because it wasn't because that's not Banner's thing, and it's not a matter of just letting the Hulk do his thing anymore because
they're it.
Hulk's not really there anymore. He's got Hulk's body and Banner's brain.
Yeah,
Hulk's brain is gone. Anger, the smash things.
Oh,
he dabbed at those kids, David.
It was there for a brief second.
When?
After Natasha died.
Yeah.
He picks up the bench and throws it, and you don't hear it hit the water. You don't hear
it. Oh, no, it was sailing over the lake.
Yeah, you didn't hear it hit shit.
And then, what they did with Captain Marvel was she was basically the Deus Ex.
That's what she was going to be.
Well, yeah, but
she's the strongest Avenger.
The best part of her in this movie was definitely the headbutt that did nothing to phase her. She was holding the gauntlet, and Thanos just thunk, and it just goes tink.
Yeah, it's nothing.
And she's just looking at her and
okay. And then he yanks the power stone out of the gauntlet.
Yeah, because he's not stupid. He knows I got to do something to get her off of this, obviously, and knows what to do. Power Stone can definitely match her.
Yep. It was to be expected.
Especially since that's literally how she got her power. Wasn't it a Power Stone?
No.
Which one was it?
It was derived from the Tesseract, the Space Stone.
The Tesseract was a space one?
Yes.
I don't
Purple's
remember.
power.
Oh, wait. Purple's one in Guardians.
Yeah, make jokes here.
No jokes. Purple is power.
I was saying you can make jokes here about royalty wearing purple, royalty being power.
Well, no, my favorite color is purple, so I just agree. Purple is power. And then next is teal.
The ancient one was a nice surprise. The ancient one, when Hulk went to get the time stone.
Oh, the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, the Sorcerer Supreme before
Strange. That was it was a good way to do it, and I as soon as I saw her, I was like, yay, because she's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
And also basically straight up revealed that she's looked at the future to see what's next for her, and knew everything about what Strange is going to be.
I mean, she said that during the
He's supposed to be the best of us.
It's, she's like, I've seen the future up to this point, up to my own death.
Right.
Nothing beyond.
And that, I don't think she was telling the truth. She was at that point also known to be a liar.
True.
Because she wouldn't know that Strange was supposed to actually be the best of them unless she saw past that point. But her utter trust in him too. When she realized that when Banner said,
then why did he give it up?
Yeah, why did he give him the stone? She's just like, oh, okay, you can have it then.
There must be a reason.
Because there has to be a reason.
Plan.
There's no way he had the time stone and thought it was a good idea to do this unless that's the only way it works.
Yep. I honestly don't know who I would have rather have died between Natasha or Hawkeye.
I don't know, but that was a nice little sequence.
Yeah, it was. It was, I'll do it. No, I'll do it. No, I'm doing it.
Well, it was,
no.
Well, we know what's got to happen here. Yes, we do. It was,
stay down.
It was solid. And one of the, 2 Avengers that died?
Yeah.
I'm also a little bit bugged, I have to admit. It kind of makes sense for the Hulk. But after what happened with the power gem and blue guy. The bad blue guy.
Bad blue guy.
Ronan, yes, thank you. I can only remember the first letter of his name. I like his name, and I liked him as a character. It kind of bugs me that there was more than one, let's call them regular Earth Avengers, because Captain Marvel's not really an
Earth-based hero in any sense.
Yeah, the only one that she's an Earth-based hero is that she realized her powers on Earth and she was born on Earth, and that's about it.
Yeah.
She got her powers from something not from Earth.
Yeah, she's
sort of. But anyway, it kind of bugs me that there was two that could use the Infinity Stones without like immediately turning into an explosion of themselves or something. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I kind of get Banner because it was, he said straight out, it's mostly Gamma, and that's kind of
my thing.
that's kind of Hulk's thing.
Yeah.
But the fact that it took as long as it did, like, obviously it was because of the storytelling purposes, but as long as it did for Tony to die afterwards,
yeah,
was a little like, because it was also kind of Thanos' thing, is he's actually powerful enough to withstand using him.
Yeah.
And Tony damn nearly did. And he was about as normal human as anybody on that field.
Yeah, pretty much. I think
except for his brain. His brain was the only thing not normal human.
I think
maybe his attitude.
The most normal human there was probably Pepper. Or
for the heroes. I mean, there's plenty of like Wakanda warriors and that
for the main heroes.
Pete was pretty normal before he got bit by a spider.
I really liked her and Tony working together in tandem. That was surprisingly well, even though she never wears anything he gives her.
Yeah, but they've kind of done it before.
Mm-hmm. That was a nice little. Him having a daughter was nice. That
She's
was
the sweetest fucking thing.
Nice little.
And they wrote her very well as his daughter. That's extortion. That's what that is.
Oh man. But yeah, I don't know, it just it was a good movie, but parts of it just they don't add up right for me.
Like what?
The entirety of the time traveling segments.
So my perspective on that.
They line up for the explainer Hulk gives for Cap, but it does not line up for Thanos.
I don't know what you mean.
So
put that down. That thing cost money and was from Barcelona.
Stop. All right, first iguana on the table is 1940s when Cap gets his super soldier serum. Yeah?
Okay.
Goes into the ice.
Yeah. 45.
Wakes up.
45, right? I think he says it's 45, but doesn't
44 or 45.
That war ended 44? Anyway.
Comes out the ice. First Avengers. Yada, yada, yada. Ensuing stuff that happens to Infinity War. Okay?
Okay.
Endgame happens. During the course of Endgame, he returns the stones to their proper spots in the timeline. He then chooses, instead of coming home to the present, he goes home to the 40s and just lives out the rest of his days.
With Peggy.
So everything that was supposed to happen still happens. He just chooses to spend.
He just hides out in her house, basically.
Yeah, basically.
That's what I was thinking. That whole end sequence there. I was just like, he, as somebody who's literally traveled now the worlds.
Yeah.
And done the things he did. I don't know if I was that person, I don't know if I could sit still in somebody's house so that I don't get noticed.
But my other question is, how does he have the shield?
How? I mean, there's many times where they talk about him replacing the shields.
To be fair, the shield looks different. It doesn't look like his shield. It looks like the shield that was an Easter egg in Iron Man 2. 3. One of those.
I mean,
It looks like
at any point before this, he potentially could have gone to Tony or Wakanda and been like, I need this shield made.
Yeah, it just seems
like
weird.
Nobody's going to deny, like, especially the people who know him personally are not going to deny him that.
Yeah. It seemed odd to me.
I'm
perfectly fine with him passing the mantle of Captain America to Falcon. I'm perfectly fine with that.
I was actually interested that it wasn't Bucky, because Bucky actually is Captain America at one point in the comics.
Yeah, I mean, so is Falcon. He's been the most recent Captain America.
That might be why then.
Yeah.
But that does bring up
Bucky's
also the question.
More stabby and shooty.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's what he knows.
It is.
Well, it might be why he chose Falcon.
Probably. I mean, let's be honest.
They're like, him and Bucky's friendship has gone through the fucking ringer. They've spent very little time together overall in their lives.
Yeah, they have. But I mean, it's just. But with Thanos, the end of the movie can't happen because of the beginning of the beginning of the movie can't happen because of the end of the movie.
What?
The beginning of Endgame cannot happen because of the ending of Endgame.
This is what I'm thinking, because she says outright that when they take she being the
ancient one.
Yes. Is that what she's referred to as? Okay. I don't remember that. She says outright that it's going to create an alternate timeline.
With each stone.
Well, she said that, but the visualization only had one.
Yeah, because she only had the time stone in.
So what I think what it was is that Thanos is from that alternate time stream that is then destroyed when the stones are put back in the rightful place. Do you get what I'm saying? As soon as they take the stones, that's what she was saying. As soon as they take the stones, that happens.
Okay.
Once they put them back, it unhappens.
So basically, then...
So the Thanos that they fight at the end is not the same Thanos.
Then Gamora can't still be alive.
Technically.
From that explainer, Gamora cannot still be alive.
Right.
And it wasn't... Look for her for all he
But the thing is she left before she left. Like the Iron Man does this snap, she's still alive. Captain puts the stones back, she should be gone.
Yeah.
Should be. But we don't know what would actually happen then. Just because her time stream is now destroyed, she wasn't in it when it was destroyed. Thanos didn't get erased because of that. He got erased because of what Tony did.
Yeah.
And his army got erased because of what Tony did. So we don't know that she would disappear just because her time stream's gone.
I mean, most
theoretically,
books,
you would assume that.
In most comic books, if your timeline gets destroyed, but you're in another timeline, you get to live.
Well, yeah, but most time travel in comic books is just like the movies. Back to the Future, most withstanding the whole fade away thing.
Yeah. Or,
Back to the Future lied to me?
Legion. Going back in time because he wants to kill Magneto. Ends up killing his father, which sets into the Age of Apocalypse.
Legion, just go on full defense mode. Every time you go to the active mode, you fuck shit up, man.
So, I mean...
To be fair, though, in the show, he was in defense mode for the most part.
Yes.
Have you seen season 2?
I haven't seen...
Season 2, he's in active mode and whatnot, but not not really in the same way.
He's in active, not instant kill.
Not yet, but he's basically in defensive mode, and then everybody knows betrays. So he decides he's going to be a destroyer of the world.
But I mean, I genuinely kind of expected some sort of Fantastic Four X-Men, something.
I don't think I think they're taking their time with the X-Men thing because they want to wrap up what's already being produced for that. Speaking of the trailer this for Dark Phoenix was pretty nice. We got to see Magneto get told. Yeah. Which with what they established in the last movie is impressive.
Well, I mean, Magneto is wildly powerful. He is nothing
technically
in the face of the Phoenix.
No. I mean, no, but that doesn't mean that the movies are going to scale the same. Because in the movies, he's basically, with his single one very powerful power, can literally rip worlds apart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's basically the most powerful outright, in that sense, mutant in the world. Because even Apocalypse probably wouldn't have been able to stand a chance against him.
Yeah.
He just was working for Apocalypse when he was doing it. Also, they didn't do he didn't really change them a whole lot. I think Angel was the only one he changed when he made them a Horseman.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I watched it, so that's probably not entirely true. But he didn't need to do anything for Magneto.
Yeah, Magneto is, in the comics and in the movies, is wildly powerful.
Yeah, but so is Professor X.
Yes. The difference between Professor X and Magneto...
The difference between Professor X and Xavier is literally nothing.
Well, I mean, there is Xavier Jr., who is an evil...
Not Legion?
Alternate timeline.
Oh, so kind of Legion?
Yeah. Legion, but only has the powers of Professor Xavier. And he looks a lot like Professor Xavier also.
Well, it's probably because he didn't have a Farouk in there breaking it apart. The whole fucking life he's had.
Yeah, probably. But Professor X has telepathy, telekinesis, image projection, and like 4 or 5 other
basically all powers. Basically all the mind powers.
Yeah.
And I think he's been he's taken his life to unlock them. You know what I mean?
Whereas Magneto, he can control electromagnetism.
It's not even electro. It's not electro. It's just magnetism.
True.
It's not electricity involved. If there was,
electromagnetism,
then he would be even more powerful because then he'd also have electricity.
Yes.
Which also, going on another tangent, would bear the fact of can the Flash affect magnetism? But coming back...
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I won't. We're going to have to think about that later.
Well, I could, because magnetism can affect gravity forces, and gravity forces is what you would need to affect in order to jump through time, and he can jump through time. So, yes, the answer is yes. But, anyway.
Speaking of someone else who can use lightning, back to the movie we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah. Thor was a chubby punk bitch.
He was
the chubby part's not an issue. It was the punk bitch part.
He had watched The Big Lebowski a few too many times in that 5 years. Okay,
he was the dude.
All it was. He had become the dude.
I heard none of the quips they said about him either.
Tony actually refers to him as Lebowski. You're drifting left there, Lebowski.
But when it came to the fight, he still had it.
Yeah, he had it.
But he did a lot worse than I would have liked him to do against Thanos. I would have liked it to end up somehow being primarily him versus Thanos, and him being removed from the fight because he just barely lost that clash. You get what I'm saying? He kept coming back and just getting thrown aside. It's this kind of negates what was established in the previous movie of how powerful he is. You know what I'm saying? They really kind of retconned him down a little bit, it seems.
Yeah,
And I'm sorry, if you're a god, a little bit of a belly is not going to change that.
I feel like it was also, he wasn't completely in the right headspace. Even at the end, he wasn't where he should have been up here.
Yeah. I mean,
part of him was still dragging on the fact that he should have gone for the head.
He did the second time.
The second time.
Yeah, and then I don't know.
However, Cap with
that was
fun.
Like, it's a good thing he's had experience with throwing a metal thing because he definitely used that with Mjolnir.
Yeah, you looked a little confuzzled when he started shooting lightning.
Yeah, Mjolnir has its own powers, and that's where that came from. I got that, but it still doesn't necessarily mean he should be unlocked.
The inscription. The inscription on the hammer. Whoever holdeth this hammer, be he worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
Yes, but Thor also possesses the power of Thor even without the hammer.
Yes, but
that means there's two Thors on that battlefield.
Yes, there were. Catch. No. You give me the big one. You take the tiny one.
I like Stormbringer a lot more, to be honest. I also feel like in a lot of things, axes and maces are way underplayed. Everybody's using swords, and swords are harder to use skillfully, and two, generally deal less damage.
Yeah, generally. I mean, I like spears.
I mean this primarily for like video games.
I like spears. Like, you don't see them that often.
In I think Skyrim, the vanilla stats for the weapons, swords are always better, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, I like spears, but you rarely see them.
Yeah. No, I mean, I literally have to get a mod to even add spears to Skyrim.
However, I did like the fact that Thanos was wielding a swallow. It was a single-handed swallow. That bugged me.
That bugged me. And the fact that he could spin it fast enough to deflect the freaking plasma shots from
that.
Right?
It's impossible, but hey.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that was just like, that's a step a little bit beyond.
He would have been doing this with it.
Like, there's a certain, like, I understand this whole thing's beyond believable, but there's still rules.
There's suspension of disbelief, and then there's that.
Right. When you break your own level of suspension of disbelief, I can't remember. There's actually a term for what it is.
Jumping the shark?
No, jumping the shark.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
Different. There's a term for what it is, and I don't know what it is right now. But basically when you break your own rules, like that, because they've established there's a certain level of physics that are actually in play here.
As long as it's not Captain America's shield. That thing does not obey the laws of physics.
Shit. Like, he threw it,
hit it with the hammer.
The hammer hit Thanos from behind.
And then both of them came back to him.
Right. Yeah. That's not how
physics work.
That's not how forces work. There's things called vertices.
That shield should have kept going like the other direction.
Or lost its momentum if it was on the right angle, but even still. Yeah.
Like, that shield does not obey the laws of physics.
It's vibranium, man.
And I mean, I guess you could make the argument because it absorbs for the vibration of anything hitting it, negating the propulsion. But, that would mean whenever Cap blocks something, he shouldn't go flying. He goes flying quite frequently when blocking with that shield.
But usually they do that to show how powerful he got hit. Mm-hmm. Which, also, no scale on that. Like, really just no scale. I'm pretty sure Thor can send him flying, but also, like, Thanos only sent him, like, 10 feet. Hulk has sent him flying, I believe, with a kick. I sent a lot of things going flying with a kick.
Yeah. So there's one loose end.
There's a loose end.
Arguably, we're
not going to talk about Guardians 3, and it's going to be about a power struggle between Thor and Quinn.
Quill.
What's his name? Quill.
But I feel like this is a loose end.
Huh?
Loki.
Oh, yeah, no, he's back?
I mean, he should be.
Should he? Why should he be back?
Loki's smart, yes?
Okay.
Arguably, Loki is smart.
When you say smart, do you mean clever?
Yes.
Yes, he's clever.
So, He immediately picked up something was going on when Tony had the heart attack.
He was the only person in that whole situation who was not moving.
Uh-huh.
And that weirded me out because of how still he was being.
And then he saw the case just go that way. And he watched it and tilted his head. He had a mouth thing on so he couldn't say anything.
Oh, and he went spoof. Uh-huh. But here's the thing.
It should have.
If it was undone, depending on when Cap put it back, if he put it back from when it was stolen,
Loki would still have been able to have gotten away.
Exactly.
Which is what Cap was specifically told. You replace it from right when we took it.
Right.
Which means Loki.
Because they didn't undo that fiasco.
No. Which means Loki is out there somewhere.
Not necessarily. That just means the Loki that they had imprisoned wasn't Loki.
Or there were two Lokis. That's why Loki told Thor.
How would there have been two Lokis?
Because if they reset everything to play out the way it was supposed to, but that Loki had escaped, which means Thor couldn't have taken Loki back to Asgard to put him in prison. Because Loki had escaped. But Loki was still shown to be in prison during Thor's jaunt through the Dark World time.
Hold on.
So there very well could have been
that's
two
the same.
Lokis.
That's the same item. Yes. So the Divergent is from 1940 when it's stolen.
1970.
Regardless of the time, it's well before that occurrence with Loki. When a Tesseract is stolen. So, when they put it back, that timeline
should have still occurred.
Or it might not have.
Arguably, the fiasco would
yes, arguably, but not assuredly.
So, just follow the humor. Let's say there are two Lokis. And
if there's two Lokis, then Gamora is still out there.
And no,
because they can't be two. Loki knows Loki got caught.
Loki knows that. Hold on. Loki
the issue with there being two Lokis is that if you're saying that that's the same timeline, then Loki didn't get caught. Period.
Which would have created an alternate timeline because we already have seen Loki get caught, and the expansion of his character to being mostly a hero and then dying at the hands of Thanos.
Here's what clearly is going to happen, but hasn't yet. Loki's going to go back, so all of that happens. He's not stupid enough to fuck it up that bad.
I don't know.
Well, just think, obviously this is before he becomes the character of Loki that we all love and got murdered.
I'm not saying he's not, that he would, I'm saying the Loki that vanished would not do that. The Loki we lost would
but maybe 30 years down the road, he would. He's got all the time in the world as long as he goes back to then.
Which is probably what takes place during, Loki's
because he's,
TV show.
Not necessarily Asgardian. He's kind of immortal.
He's as immortal as the Asgardians are.
So, as long as he goes back, which maybe that's what happens in Guardians. Maybe instead of finding Gamora, they find Loki, and Thor is like, dude, you got to go back.
I am subscribing to this until it changes, until they prove otherwise.
I'm kind of sad
there are two Lokis. Loki knew about the other Loki. That's why he told Thor, the sun will smile on us again.
The us was just Loki and not Thor at all? Because that was when...
That was right before he died.
Right, but that Loki doesn't love Thor the way Loki eventually kind of realizes he does.
Yes.
Best way to put it. Anyway, we're out of time for this episode.
Yep.
Survey says...
Definitely worth it.
Go see it.
Well, I suppose that's the end of the episode.
Please like, comment, follow, and share. And also, more importantly, thank you for listening.
Take care.
Bye.